I think that's a lesson that we can take into like just life, is coming to everything with no expectations.
100%.
Coming to everything with an empty cup.
Definitely.
You know.
Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Light podcast. I'm your one and only host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. Now today, we got a special guest in the building, Mr. Soglo, a multi-dimensional creator, an artist, and a young alchemist. Welcome.
Gratitude, bro.
Gratitude, ultimate
Good to
gratitude.
be here.
Look, I think ever since I moved here, you was one of the first people that I was able to meet and come across, and I feel like I'm very much grateful to have you here and share this space with you. We got the dogs going on in the back, but I'm very grateful to share this space with you 100%, and I'm happy to have you here, man.
Happy to be here, bro. Yeah,
Definitely.
Cool. First podcast, man.
First podcast.
It's my first
podcast. And this is his first podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely. How you feeling?
Feeling great, bro. Feeling present. Just ready to dive into whatever comes up.
Yeah. We also got to, before this pod, share a hot yoga experience together, which was pretty dope. It was so funny because I was dying, but I was enjoying the experience, and that was only my second hot yoga experience. But to share that moment with him, to share that with you and be there and to kind of get through it, because it was hot. It was hot. And I don't think, look, my body, my flexibility ain't there, but the fact that I was able to try and do that with you was special.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was there, I was thinking to myself, I was just wondering, like, when did you start yoga? Because you can just tell that it was experience there. You was locked in. You was,
Yeah.
And I was watching you and admiring. When did that start for you?
Yoga started. It started, like, what sparked the yoga was just me wanting to become more flexible. Like, just awareness.
Yeah.
Being aware of, like, okay, whenever I'm in like a pseudo sumo position, when I'm down, like, I remember being at football practice and like kneeling down and shit, and my knees hurting after like 10 seconds, you know, and it's like, damn, why do my knees hurt? Like, so just the awareness of me not being able to be flexible and not being able to do certain stretches and not liking that shit. I ain't like that. So then I just like went to YouTube and started stretching. Doing stretching, and then stretching that went into me discovering yoga, you know, and then just I embodied a deep like practice at home first. Yeah.
Then you start venturing out.
Yeah. Then I found a yoga studio, and once I found a yoga studio, it's like, okay, now I can, everything that I've been teaching myself from YouTube. Yeah. Now I can really tighten everything up and really learn. Like from actually being in a space with teachers. So so what sparked my journey is just awareness of my body, like me being aware of the stiffness, me being aware of certain pains that I have and wanting to fix that.
Definitely. And when I was in there, I could definitely tell just from my stiffness, there's a lot of stiffness that's there, and I was like, I know that I need to do some work. And I'm like, this is something that it actually sparked something in me to want to practice and want to get better at that, because some positions I couldn't hold. My body felt tired, and it felt like a real exercise. It felt like real work in the midst of it being hot. So, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it was just so, to see you be able to push through every pose, I was like, dang. That's how I know that you was kind of more experienced, and it shows that. And also I was thinking too, with yoga, it's more of like mind over matter type thing. Because even in the heat, it's like to withstand the heat while also doing these poses, it aligns you more with your conscious and then just the experience to stay present within yourself through the suffering. Like how she was saying, to be the observer, I felt like that was very powerful.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I definitely can take something from that. And I was like, dang. So I want to ask you, knowing that you started yoga just from football and you wanted to stretch and you discovered yoga, like what was, because I'm also getting to know you. I'm still getting to know you, want to understand. So was you born in North Carolina? Was you born here?
Yeah, Greensboro.
Wow. So how was that upbringing? Was this something, did spirituality, yoga, did these practices, when did these practices start hit you? What was the thing that brought you closer to spirituality? Was it yoga, or was it any other tools that got you there?
So in regards to my upbringing, I didn't have a spiritual upbringing. I wouldn't say like yoga wasn't a big part of my upbringing. My mom didn't. Like, I didn't have family members who did yoga, meditation. More religious, like how a lot of us are brought up in a Christian home, being religious. So that's I think like, okay, spirituality, like being a Christian, being a Christian believer, that's, you're spiritual because you have some type of connection with the higher source, whatever you believe that it is. So so I'll say, like, I remember praying, being younger and praying every night. So I was spiritual. I was praying to God, you feel me? So but in regards to like yoga and meditation, that was something that spirit gave me. Like that was something that I discovered myself, like on my own journey. Like it wasn't anything that I gained from my upbringing or someone introducing it to me. It was more so like just a knock at the door that we all get, like that intuition, the certain guidance, the certain things that resonate with us, and it's like, okay, let me try to do that. Let me see how it feels. And then from there, different doors and avenues open of like, damn, it feels good to me, so I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah.
And I feel like that's how spirit works. It has a thing to pull you close to the things that you need the most for yourself, in its own way,
right?
Like in a magical way. Once you start doing something else, then another avenue unlocks, and then you start diving into another field, and then all of these new downloads and information that comes when spirit feels like you're ready for that information. Because I feel like for my journey too, I grew up in a Christian home myself, and it just kind of called up on me. It was something that just happened. I read one book and boom, one door opened and the next door opened. I started learning about meditation. I started learning about these tools to help you become more mindful, to understand your body more, understand your purpose and conscious more. And it always tends to do that. And I feel like that's very special and very beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
But what was one of the first things? What if it wasn't yoga? When did you start doing meditation around that time? Did meditation come before yoga, or?
Yeah, I'll say, and I was thinking about something that, like a big shift, a shift for me, and it was more so in an unaware state. I remember being in a church, and an opportunity came up for me to give my life to God in the church.
Yeah.
And it was like a calling of like, okay, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna do this thing. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know what the fuck everything. Like, it was a big deal though, but I didn't even know what it meant. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give my life to God. And after that, like, everybody was hugging me and shit. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, okay. But I remember, the preacher, the pastor, I remember her telling me like something around like just my friends and who I'm around, my surroundings, and like I am, just be wary of your surroundings, pretty much, like begin to separate yourself. And like shortly after that, that's when a lot of things started to come online for me. Yeah. And
so my bad, keep going.
Yeah, so yeah, after that, a lot of things started to come online for me, just in like the awareness sense of just becoming more aware of myself, becoming more aware of me versus the people that I'm around, and yeah, awareness. You had asked me like, did meditation come before yoga? Yeah, meditation came before yoga. Like, it's funny how like now, just thinking about like how people view certain things and like the certain levels of awareness you can be on, and that will have you view something different than like now I'm at a different level of awareness. So I see meditation as sitting with myself, being present, and just being here, versus before when I first started to discover meditation, my awareness was lower. So I viewed it differently. I viewed it as like, you know, something happening. So I remember going into it with a lot of expectations of like expecting something to happen whenever I sit down and meditate, you know, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
and I remember the first time I sat there and like put some frequencies on and just meditated, and it was like my first time like doing that consciously, and it was just, I don't know, I thought something was supposed to happen. I thought I was doing it wrong, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that you kind of got to get out of with just the expectations and the learning of just that meditation is just sitting with yourself. If something comes up, then it comes up, but you can't expect things to come up. Right. The point of meditation is to sit there and to be within yourself, to go inward, to have a sense of peace. Now, you can have these experiences where you can tap into it deeply. You know, some of my meditations be different. One meditation, I might get so tapped into just pure awareness, but then I might have a meditation where my mind is everywhere and I'm trying to get it together, and it's a little more difficult to get there. It's just the expectation part. You shouldn't come in there expecting every time for it to be either the same experience that you had when you really tapped into awareness, because you can get caught into that loop. So just go in every meditation without expectation. You're going to enjoy it every time because it's going to be different. It's going to be a different feeling. So that is definitely something that I feel like I experienced in the form of fasting too, of just thinking that I was just supposed to have something go down crazy with meditation. And that's not even the point of it. So I definitely understand that. So when it comes to like Christianity and stuff like that, was there a deconstruction? Was there a thing of where your mindset changed on religion and you was like, does this fit me? Does this not fit me? Does the thought patterns, do I agree with it? Or is something that you kind of just built a better relationship with?
It was a process of deconstructing. Yeah. And just breaking down the beliefs, breaking down the layers, you know, diving into truth about Christianity, about certain religions, and I think going into the truth of like myself and where I really come from. When I say I mean us, like where we really come from and who we really are, and just discovering like, oh, you know, Christianity was something that was put on us, something that was indoctrinated onto us, and just breaking free from the slavery, breaking free from the mental slavery that religion can have upon our people.
100%.
Yeah, but like, cause I remember just really believing in God and like in Jesus, quote unquote, and just like. But once I started to dive, just, you know, like whenever my awareness started to come up, it's like, I want to know the truth. Like, what's the fuck is the truth? Like, I've been being lied to. Like, this is not real. Like, okay, let me dive into the truth. So just going down rabbit holes, bro. Especially whenever 100%. We first like get that spark of awareness. It's like, oh shit, man. I gotta figure this shit out, bro. I gotta. Like, I'm talking about every day. Just, you feel me? What's going on for real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel you 100%. That was exactly my story. I was definitely Christian myself, and it was one of them things to where I feel like as a kid, and I feel like when you're a kid, there's certain patterns. Like I can look back now and still see some patterns that still stuck around now of just who I always been. I always been somebody who's curious and a truth seeker. Like even when I was Christian. I would read the Bible like up and down. Like I would read the Revelations. I'm reading the Bible stories. I still even remember reading the stories of the Bible and going downstairs, running downstairs. Mom, look what I know. I know this. Like I've always had the curiosity and wanted that connection with God. That was my main thing. I think that's just naturally who I am, wanting to get more connection with spirit. It's like it's always been a drive to want to know more, want to know who I am, what's going on around me, what is this planet, why are we in the planet? Like I used to look up at the moon as a kid, like, whoa, what is that? Like I always had that natural curiosity, and I feel like how you were saying is just like you wanted to know the truth and you wanted to look for the truth, and it's like I think true truth seekers are going to always end up in the area of like finding that, I say that awareness, because it's going to lead there. The more you look, the more you're going to find it, because you start seeing these things in a lot of scriptures and a lot of places of speaking about awareness, and it all start making sense once you put all the pieces together. And I want to ask you too, like when it comes to that deconstruction for you, was there any struggles with that? Was there anything that was difficult while you was going through that deconstruction, whether it was family or situations or life changes? Like, do you feel like it was a struggle with that transition?
Yeah, I'll say the biggest struggle was family.
Yeah.
We all know how that is, bro. It's like, yeah, that was the biggest struggle, bro. Just like me stepping away from that, and just the struggle of being in that fully without like fear of being judged, and just the struggle to speak my truth of like, I don't believe in this, you know, like that was a challenge. That was the biggest challenge for me.
How did you navigate through it? Did you find a way? Is it are you in a better space now?
Definitely. Yeah. Because I feel like I know myself more, versus before I was like coming into myself, and it was a lot of fear surrounded that, and just like to upset people who. Like, just like that, the conflict of like, you believe in this, but I don't believe in that. Like, there's fear around, like, it's conflict. So I had certain fears around just that conflict. And, like, nobody wants to be like the one who doesn't believe in God. Like, oh, yeah, you don't believe in God. Yeah. You're bad. You don't believe in Jesus. You're bad. Like, you don't. So, that was the most challenging thing. But I'll say what helped me is just distancing myself, you know, and like with family, there's no, it's not like it's all love. But we have to understand that your family has a lot of dysfunction, and especially coming like up in a Black household, and we have these like strong beliefs in Christianity, and then whenever that's not our path, I think we need distance away from that. So distance helped me like just get more in tune with myself, where it's like I can be around family and I can feel like safe within myself, and you know, versus before I would feel like triggered with certain things. Just distance and just coming more into my own truth, and not being afraid to speak that, and just be myself for real. That's really what it goes back to. It's just being yourself fully. Yep. For real. Being 100%. Myself fully.
Look, that was my thing too. You know, when I was on my spiritual journey and I was learning a lot about myself, it took a while for me I didn't know how I could tell my family that I don't have the same thought patterns no more. Like, I'm learning a lot of things about the universe and consciousness and spirit, and the trying to figure out how to come at a space to where you can talk to your family about your new perspective of life and perception. It's pretty difficult, and I was trying to figure out a way of tackling it. Mine's just kind of end up happening abruptly because I was trying not to. I was trying to figure out. My thing was trying to figure out how can I talk to them about my new perception and how I saw life now. And it just ended up happening where I had a conversation, and it was tough. Like how you said, you need space. I definitely had hermit mode. I definitely went into nature, and I definitely needed to understand myself more before I can completely. And my stuff was a journey too with my family. But now I feel like with a space with my family now, they just understand me. They understand that, because it's funny when you start going on this path, they automatically think that the darkest things are the darkest thing because you're not a Christian, or you're not, you know what I'm saying, like, or you don't have that belief no more. They think that you'll probably go down the wrong path. And I think once my family knew that, okay, like, he's not a Christian or not religious, but he moves in love. Like, he has a lot of love for people, and he's doing a good, positive thing. Like, it's one thing, like, you can't say, like, okay, I'm not religious, I don't consider myself religious, but you can't deny that I'm a good person.
Right. you got to see the light. You can't not see the light. You have to acknowledge and acceptance.
Exactly. And it's a struggle for the people on the opposing end, because, like, your parents, family, grandparents, or whatever, they want to see you. They want you to be and basically live in, basically kind of live in their shoes and how they think of life.
Right.
They want to, especially when you have kids, a lot of parents will put that on them, that conditioning of that religion onto the kid. So when the kid breaks out of that, it's hard for the parents. So it's kind of like you have to both mutually understand each other and where y'all coming from, and to be able to have an open conversation. Do you feel like did you have a conversation with your people, or was something that they just understood? And what was it?
My pops, I had a conversation with my pops about it. My mother, she's more on the spiritual side, like, naturally. So she's not like my mother. It wasn't a lot of, like, Christianity stuff on my mother's side, but more so on my dad's side, it was more so Christianity beliefs. So I had a conversation with my dad. I just told him, like, my perception of God. I told him what my perception of God was, and he didn't agree with it, but it wasn't like a fight or anything. He just didn't agree with it because he was very constructualized and very just engraved. That's what it is. It's just being so. It's like you've been believing this since you were born.
Yes. And
now you're 40, 50 years old. So whenever a new idea comes in, there's going to be like instant
blockage. Yeah,
instant no. That's not it. But exactly. The beautiful thing about just speaking the truth and bringing certain awareness is, we can like get into the minds of people and to begin to break down these things, even if it's like even if it's very subtle, and it doesn't happen right away, because now my father, he's very more open-minded now. Like, he sees things differently. He's not as constructualized as he used to be, and I believe I had a big part to do with that. Just me speaking my truth and me, like, just being myself. So 100%. Like that's the thing, bro, is us being ourselves. People see it and it rubs off.
100%. Literally, just by you being an example cause ripples. Yeah. People might not understand you, or they might not get you, but if they see that you're a light, they see that what you're doing is actually impactful, and what you're doing is bettering your life. Because, like I said, you can't deny when you see somebody's life improving, like their health is improving, their energy is improving. Like, y'all might have different, y'all might see God differently or in that aspect, but it's like, dang, like what he's doing is very beneficial. I can't even say nothing. Like, I can't say nothing. Like the tools that he added, and that's with my mom. Like, me and my mom, definitely, I think my mom was more of disagreements with my my basically me not being religious no more, I explained to her my thought on God, and just basically was just like, I believe that God is everything. God is me. I am God, and God is all of us and everything around us. And I just think once people see that what you're doing and it's not harmful, you can't deny that. And I think us being ourselves, us living in that truth, like how you said, it's hard to not be affected by that light, because it shines so bright when somebody living in that truth, and it's so beautiful.
It's gonna be felt. It's definitely gonna be felt.
And you're gonna be inspired too. 100%, you're gonna be inspired by it. Some form of fashion, like how you say with your dad, it's like it was hard shell at first. As time go by, you're like, oh well,
Yeah, I see.
I understand. I can understand some of it.
Yeah, I can see where you going with that.
But that's the beauty of conversation. That's the beauty of understanding. We could get far as hell in life in just humanity if we just sit and try to understand each other, where we coming from, finding middle ground, understanding perceptions. Because a lot of times we can be stuck in ways of thinking and being. And a lot of times it could be false, or it could be, in ways, but having conversation with other people can open your mind. Literally, you hang with somebody will open you up to a new perception that you never thought before. Literally. Yeah. Like, it could be something small. I know hanging with my homeboys, it'd be something in the car. You'd be like, hey, you can do this with your car. I'm like, I never knew that. It's just, that's the power of community. Of just listening and understanding each other. And I feel like that's super powerful. And another aspect, another thing I want to talk about of just living in your truth and being in your truth, I have to speak about your art, man. Like, your art, bro, we got to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Bro, your art pieces are super fire, bro. Just how 100%. I'm gonna make sure I put your pictures on the screen for your art on the screen, for people can see your expression, because I want people to see that, like, that art is so unique. And I think that's what I remember going to your art gallery, and I was thinking, it's just that seeing artists just like literally get into your psyche and your mind. And that's why I had to ask you then at that time. I want to ask you again, is just what inspires the art? When let me ask you that first. What inspires the art?
What inspires the art? Like, so much inspires it, bro. But if I would have to, like, bring it down to one thing, it's creation. Creation in itself. Like, creativity in itself, that is my inspiration.
Yeah. Ooh, just creating.
Yeah, creativity. And I say that because it's like,
let the train go. We got train going on.
They probably can't even hear that shit. Yeah, like, because at one point, like, the shit that I make now, I didn't believe that I could do that. Yeah, like, a couple years ago, bro. I only been painting for like a year and some change, like painting.
For real?
Yeah. But
Did you draw? Did you start off drawing first?
Yeah, I started off drawing. So I used to be a drawer, graphite pencil. I used to do a lot of realism drawing, tattoos. I'm a tattoo artist as well.
Multi-dimensional.
Yeah,
I said that.
Tattoo artist as well. So just I was very used to not using my creativity. So when it came to using my creativity, I had a blockage around my creativity. And this is self-limiting beliefs. This is lack of confidence, low self-esteem, not believing that I can create my own shit. So I would, I used to, like, I grew up just drawing. I was really good at drawing people, looking at a picture, having it right beside, and just, like, drawing, like, having that eye, that attention to detail. So I did a lot of that. But when it came to, like, creating from creation, like, that's what I call it, is creating from creation. It's like, I have a blank piece of paper right here. I don't have no type of feel me? I'm just creating. Like there was fear around that shit.
Wow.
You know, there was like a sense of I can't do that. Like just the
Limiting beliefs.
Yeah, it was a limiting belief. So like what sparked my journey of like painting and creating these paintings is just me wanting to be me stepping into that creativity that I have within myself, and just creating my own art. Like that's what I remember I used to say, like I want to make my own art. I want to have my own style, my own shit. I don't want to just draw people no more. You know, I want to make my own art. So that's really what inspired it all, for real.
So let me ask you something. This was a thought that just came to me. Okay. Do you think anybody could make art when it comes to painting, when it comes to drawing? Because you see a lot of people, like even myself, I consider myself I could draw something. Like I'm not a stick person. You know, sometimes people can only draw like stick type people. I can actually draw a little bit. Painting, I don't know. But do you think anybody can get a canvas and make some beautiful art with it? Or do you think that it's just a power that some people, or ability that some people get to have and some people don't?
Yeah, I feel like anybody can make art, bro. Like we all have that creativity within ourselves to produce something. Everything is art, bro. Like
everything is art.
Everything is art, bro. Like you know how children just draw, and like that's art. You know, it's beautiful. Like I can get a plate. I can get some ketchup and some mustard, and I can just goddamn and then freak some shit, and that's gonna be art. You know, it's gonna be art. So I think it's just, yes, some people are more creative. Some people are born with natural gifts, but art is creativity. It's a belief. Like some people, like when I show them my art or they see my art, and they be like, you know, they say things like, "Oh, I could never do that," or I'm not creative at all. I have no creative bone in my body. You're just telling yourself, you're limiting a belief. And I remember, I'll give an example. This woman that we were chilling, right, and we were making art and shit, and she was telling herself that she couldn't, you know, do like a one line. So a one line drawing is when you just get a pencil and you just start it with one line and you don't stop. Like it's a creative practice, because it forces you to put the mind away, because like that's a lot. That be the blockages. It'd be the mind. You know, so once we start drawing and shit, it's like, fuck, I don't know what to make. Like, what do I draw? No, don't think. Just draw. Like, just allow the pencil to move. Just allow the pen to move. So, we were doing that practice, and she had a belief that she couldn't do it. Like, I can't do that, you know. And she started to do it. She did it, and she made something, and it was like real cool because it looked like a woman. Like, and she showed it to me, and you know, I'm an artist, so I see things. I'm a visionary, so I took it and I just like turned it around, and it looked like a woman. Like it looked like a black woman with like locks, and I was like, damn, like look what you made. Like this shit is fire, and that just opened her up to just believing in herself more. And then she had like sent me some more cool drawings that she did. Yeah, she had sent me some more cool drawings that she did. So it's all mental, bro. It's like it's just about getting out of the mind and just getting into the present moment, for real. Like that's when I make my best art, bro. It's when my mind is gone, bro.
And that's the perfect segue, because I was gonna ask you about what is the spirituality and art go together? But you just really answered it though, because that moment, that process of creation is being present and being in the moment is very spiritual. While you creating, it's like inner child, like right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a channel, bro. It's a channel. It's like just getting into that space where it's just me, and it's just the canvas, and some music or whatever, and I'm just like totally there.
Yeah.
And I'm just totally receiving. Like a lot of the times, bro, like whenever I'm creating my art, you know, like earlier we were talking about expectations, with, I think it was with the
meditation.
The yoga, with meditation. And I think that's a lesson that we can take into like just life, is coming to everything with no expectations.
100%.
Coming to everything with an empty cup.
Definitely.
You know, because that's how we're able to receive. Like going into the yoga class with no expectations, no, oh, it's gonna be too hot. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing the poses right. No, just go into that shit, just and just fucking see what comes up. Like, you know, going on a date. Like, don't go into that shit with expectations. Like, I remember I used to have like these nerves and like expecting, just in general, going into things with expecting what is going to happen. Like, no, drop that shit. So even with me creating my art and me painting, like I don't like to go into the session of like, what am I going to make? Like, what am I about to make? Because that's where I'm fucking up at.
Yeah.
I have to drop that, and I have to just come to the canvas empty. Like, come to that shit fully empty. I don't know what I'm about to make. I don't know what's gonna come, but just being present with the process and trusting that something fire is gonna come through, you know. And at the end, like this how the sessions start. Really, it's like, and I haven't painted in a minute, you know. I haven't painted in a long time, but I still know how it feels. So it usually starts off with the mind. It starts off with me being in my head. So I may be painting for like 5-10 minutes, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this shit ass. Yeah. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm making. Like, oh, it's not going good, you know. And I have to catch myself when I'm in that. Like, I have to, okay, my mind is in that, and just like from that, just drop that shit and just keep going. Like that's what we can do a lot is, and when creating art, we can fuck up because we stop before we even get into what needs to be get into. So it's like we limit ourselves and like, okay, this shit look bad, let me stop. But whenever I push through and I just keep going and keep creating and just keep channeling, continuing to be present, like whenever I'm finished, I'm like, yes.
It's crazy, the outcome.
Yeah.
Of just keep going.
Yeah, the final product of like just seeing like, damn. And usually this the thing, like whatever, everything that I was looking at when I was saying, oh, this shit ass, that shit not even there no more. It's like,
a whole different.
Yeah, like, yeah, that shit was ass. That's why it's gone. You feel me? Like, that's why it's not there no more. Now you looking at what, you feel me?
Yep.
So it's just being patient. Like, we have to be patient with, like, art is a process. So we gotta be patient for real and just allow it to be born.
Right, and that's with anything.
Yeah, that's with anything. That's why I love just the practice of creating art, because it translates. I think everything it translates all throughout everything translates.
And art is so beautiful because it's just like that's another form of perception, because you can look at a piece of art, somebody might find it the most amazing piece. It could be simple as ever. Yeah. Somebody might look at the painting, might be like, right, that's not really my favorite. Yeah. But that just really goes to show is just that it depends. It really depends on the person. If somebody thinks that this art is their favorite, and that's with anything. Like, we can look at the same thing. One person might have a completely different perception than you. Yeah. And that's why it's just like art is not to. I don't feel like art is meant to be judged. It's just meant to appreciate and to just know what you like, know what really resonates with you, because art is just art. Right. Art is just is going to be perceived in 1,000 different ways, and I just feel like that's why I just love your expression, because it's so unique to yourself and to you. Do you feel like what are some artists that inspire you when it comes to art?
Hey, man. My nigga Basquiat, bro.
Basquiat.
That's my nigga, bro. Yeah, bro, it's crazy because I haven't even really, like, I've done research on artists and just like I discovered abstract art. You know, and I didn't even know abstract. I didn't know what abstract art was, but I was doing it. You know, and I remember like somebody was like, "Oh, that's abstract." I'm like, "Okay, let me do some research on what abstract art. Oh, this is abstract. Okay, this is what I'm making. I'm making abstract art. Okay, that's dope." So that's how I discovered like myself as an abstract artist versus being like a portrait realism drawing.
Wow.
So yeah, then I just started to like just watch abstract art documentaries, just get very inspired, and when I discovered Basquiat, bro, it just changed my life, bro. Because like I seen him before, I knew of him before, but I never knew what he like. I didn't really have that much of a like perception of who he was or like his art or anything like that. But once I started to really dive into his story, I just resonate with him a lot, bro. And I just love the childlike essence of his art, you know, and just like coming to it without any preconceived like exceptions of what I'm about to make. We're just making, and I resonate with artists who create from their soul, and I definitely feel like he put a lot of his soul into art, and it's a lot of haters like that don't really fuck with Basquiat. Then there's like this comparison thing like of saying like people copying and things like that, and that's just, you know, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, it's gonna
be there. But in regards of artists, bro, I don't even know if like I still have a lot of learning to do, like in regards of history and knowing great artists. Because I don't want to be just like I don't want to just have like in a box of Basquiat's just my favorite artist. Like there's way more artists out there, abstract artists, neo-expressionist artists that are dope as well. So I have done research on artists, but I can't even think of their name right now. Basquiat just that nigga, bro. So I'm gonna always stand 10 toes on what it is that he's done. And he's definitely been a big inspiration to my art for sure. Like a lot of people, they compare my art to Basquiat and they say like, "Oh, that shit give me Basquiat vibes, like it's real Basquiat-y." But people tell me like it's like it's Basquiat, but it's you though, you know. And that's the thing. I don't want to be known as a Basquiat copy. And like I said, I only been painting for a year and some change. So with Basquiat being my biggest inspiration, like it's gonna be you're gonna see a lot of him in my art a bit. But as I continue to evolve and grow into my own self, and you know, my art it may change. It's gonna look completely different in 5 years or so, you know. But he's definitely been a big part of it. But it's like I said, people they compare it to Basquiat, but they say it's like it's yours though.
Yours.
It's you know.
You can see the inspiration there, but it's still unique to you.
Right. That's the goal. Is like I don't want to copy anyone. You know, I want to be myself. I want to be authentic to myself, and you know, inspiration is a thing. Like, you know, we're artists, so artists copy, artists steal. That's what we do. But I think it is very important to hone in on my essence wholly, because I can get into a state where I'm like comparing myself to other people, and I'm seeing other people, and I'm wanting to be like that, or I'm bringing certain things from there to me. But you know, I think it's just very important to really, it's okay to be inspired. It's okay to see certain things that you like that resonates and do them, but it's not okay to just straight up steal 100%. And just straight up like be somebody else, you know. So it all goes back to just honing in on my truth, my authenticity, you know.
Yep, 100%. That's all it is. Like we all are inspired by something.
Yes.
Like
sure.
I have I have people that I look up to in the podcast game that gave me a lot of inspiration and a lot of ideas. We all are here to inspire each other. That's just how it naturally is. We see each other people. We see other people art and what they're doing, and we get inspired, and we want to formulate it in our own way. It's natural. Yeah. So it's definitely unique to you. I've seen Basquiat work, but yours is definitely unique to you. And brother, I gotta say, you gotta keep doing it. This man is only 22. I just figured that out today. This man is only 22. You got so many years ahead of you of just creation and learning and growing. It's just that I can only imagine the artist that you will be 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line. And what you're doing now is already amazing. That's
Thank you, bro.
No problem, bro. You got to keep doing it, keep putting that expression out, because I think more and more people need to see your art in the world for sure. And also, I want to say this too. Speaking about your age, knowing that you're 22 and stuff like that, but I think it hit me once I knew that you was 22. It's just that to be 22 and very mindful and on this path so young. I seen one thing. I was I had to do a little research, and I seen the video that you posted. I think it was on TikTok. I found TikTok, bro. But it was one thing that really stuck with me that you was talking about, though. You was talking about, and that's why I said at your age, for you to have this awareness, I feel like it's beautiful. You was talking about the divine masculine. What it means to be a divine masculine and not toxic masculinity. And I feel like this conversation, once I seen this, I was like, we gotta have this, because I feel like us as men, that's the thing that we're lacking, is tapping into that divine masculine and blending both energies from the masculine and the feminine together to create the divine masculine. And I wanted to ask you more about that, and how did you get out of that mode? What things helped you get out of that to help you live more in that divine masculine energy?
I think seeing the divine masculine in the flesh, that opened a lot of doors for me. Like yeah, there's a great soul that I know that has been a big inspiration to me. And whenever I was being on the path that I was on already, and then seeing this great soul, seeing this being who was doing the things that I were in, but just on a different level, like on a higher level of like integratedness, and seeing the divine masculine in the flesh of what it actually looks like. I think that opened up a lot for me once I was able to really see that shit.
Yeah.
And like see how it operates.
The reason why I wanted to talk about it was because I think the main thing, I feel like we as men, the lack of balance. I think that's the thing. It's the lack of balance between, because a lot of times a lot of men are living in a world where there's too much masculine. It's out of whack.
Right.
And even with women can be too much in the feminine, right? And it's a lack of the masculine energy that's bringing the balance. And I feel like us as a society, we have to be able to balance both energies. And it's important for that, especially as men, because the toxic masculinity thing has definitely, I feel like, especially for like the older generations of men, it has definitely affected a lot of thought patterns and ways of being as a man and what it means to be a man. And I feel like we lack the empathy, the compassion, the love that comes from the feminine energy to make us whole, to make us a divine masculine man. And that's why I like seeing your video and seeing you talk about that, of saying that there's just a lack of the feminine energy. I just felt like it was good to talk about that and discuss that and hear your point of view on that, because to get that understanding as a young man, I just feel like it's beautiful to have that understanding, because a lot of times men can go their whole life and feel like it's not okay to cry.
Right.
It's not okay to express themselves.
Yeah.
They just need to work hard and provide, and which that's the aspect of the masculine which the men are supposed to do, but we can go our whole life and lack the other areas that could make us whole and to make us complete as a divine masculine. Mm-hmm. And I feel like us having this conversation could help a lot of men, young men, and on their journeys with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because getting out of that could be difficult, depending on upbringing.
Yeah, I think it all does depend on upbringing. Like I don't think I really had to deconstructualize like this overly masculine. I didn't have to deconstructualize this overly, like I didn't have like, my father's in my life, but I didn't have my father as a role model.
Yeah,
that's a lot of things that we lack as young melanated men. Like we lack having that man to look up to. So I didn't really have that. I was brought up from my mother, so I would say I was more feminized. So for me, it's like, and I'm on life path too. So
life path too.
Yeah,
I'm life path 6.
Okay, word.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a naturally feminine. Like I have a lot of feminine energy within myself. I remember being younger and people used to think I was a girl.
Wow.
Like just and my mother, I have my mother's face.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of feminine essence about me. So I think for me it's like bringing that masculine in strongly, and just healing the feminine energy, because that's what it starts with. Like we come from mother. We were feminine first. We were woman first.
Yeah.
Before we, it's like some process, but I think like we were girls first.
You definitely start off as a girl for sure.
Yeah.
And then it turns into
right.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance, bro. It's all about balance. We can't be overly masculine. We can't be as men. We can't be overly masculine. As men, we damn sure can't be overly feminine. No, you can't do that. So So for me, like I'm 22, bro. I'm finding myself as a man. Like I'm stepping into my manhood now, and like I said, I feel like I was more feminized. So like a lot of like the femininity, I guess, like the toxic femininity that I may have within myself, I'm like just healing that and just pulling the masculine in more for real. But it all started off with me healing the feminine, and the feminine is getting in tune with the body,
100%.
being present, sitting still, sitting in the ocean, meditating,
100%.
Being sensual with myself, doing yoga. Like yoga is a very balancing practice. It brings both of the energies together. So there's definitely a difference between toxic masculinity and being a divine masculine being. Like being a divine masculine being is just I guess just being in the middle and just having both worlds, being able to be a nurturer. Being able to be soft and be gentle. Not being a fucking overly aggressive person who can't control his emotions. Being able to process your emotions and to express yourself with clarity. Like that's being a divine masculine for real. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still stepping into into a lot of it. I don't like to really claim to be anything, especially if I don't feel like I'm embodying it. Like, I don't want to say I'm divine masculine, but I'm not really embodying it. So now I'm just practicing living what I speak.
Exactly.
Not speaking on certain things, but not because even like when I made that post, I was self-contradicting myself, really? Like there, I was talking about being a divine masculine, and I was in the practice of it, but there's still a lot of shit I was doing. I was going against that, like giving into my emotions, giving into vices and my addictions, like that pulled me away from that balance, pulled me away from that divine masculine. So now it's like, if I'm gonna be a divine masculine being, I'm gonna be that, and walking my talk for real, bro. Cause
integrating it for sure.
Yeah, integrating it and just being truthful to myself.
100%. Yeah, I think the conversation alone is what's needed. The conversation alone is what's needed, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation for two black men to sit here and talk about the importance of it. And we all are work in progresses. We all are, just in works of being better and becoming better as time go by. I feel like in my journey, that's one of the things once I learned the balance of energies. I'm a life path 6, so life path 6 and 2 and 9 all have more is more of a feminine like energy, because like 2 and 6 are like most likely nurturers, healers, and I think that's the thing with myself, because I have so much love and nurturing spirit within me. I had to learn that there's a balance of being able to have that feminine energy, but also hone in that masculine energy as well at the same time for myself, because it's as much you want to, and that's why I feel like a lot of men, especially a lot of men in charge these days, are lacking the feminine energy to be able to have that understanding and nurturing of people in general. Because yes, as a man, you are here to, it's like that, it's that action energy, it's the action, it's the putting up boundaries energy, it's the going forward, it's the providing, it's the protector. That's the masculine energy. But also, if there's a lack of that, there could be a lot of situations that go horribly wrong, which in society, that's what we see a lot with a lot of men that's overly masculine. And just that awareness alone in this conversation, that I think it can help people. And I wanted it to help people, because to get that understanding, like, no, you're not one energy. You have both energies within you.
Yes.
The feminine and the masculine. And you have to hone in. It's most important. You have better relationships, better friendships, better experiences when you live within both of those energies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, living within both of the energies, and I think it takes that awareness to know that both these energies are within myself first, and then like being able to manipulate them, being so in control of them, being so like aware of them, where it's like I know how to use these energies to the highest level. Like I know whenever I need to be like no. I know whenever I need to say no. I need to set boundaries. Not allowing like the feminine to, I guess, take over it. And it's like, nah, I'm scared. I don't want to stand up for myself. But being able to say no, being able to set boundaries, and then in moments whenever you may need to be compassionate with yourself, like being able to truly hold space and be compassionate with self.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what is the, right now in your life, what do you feel like is the biggest lesson that you're learning right now? Do you feel like there's anything that you're learning is the most thing that you're trying to understand about yourself or on your journey?
Yeah, let's see. Like being present with my actions, being present with myself and what it is that I do.
Yeah.
Like being aware of my egos. Like, is my ego is my ego controlling me right now? So I'm just seeing how what it is that I do, my actions, they really create my fucking life. Like, the things that I decide to do, the times that I decide to put my spirit to the side and follow my ego, those things create dysfunction. Versus whenever I am being true to myself. So that's what I'm learning right now, is just to really be even more truer to myself, bruh. And to really stop lying to myself, and to really just be present and find the truth in the present. Like, I was talking to this guy, this bro, and I was asking him about the present. I mean, the truth. I was like, how do I find the truth? And it's like the presence. You know, the truth is in the presence. So for me, I took that as like, before I do something, I need to be fucking present with what the fuck it is that I'm about to do. Because I've done things that I wish I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, I've done things and it's like, and look back and be like, in that moment, I wasn't really being present, like, to what it is that I'm creating. My ego was controlling me. So just being able to make the right choice, living righteously, like truly living righteously, bruh, and not just talking it, bro. Because like I said, I'm going through a shift right now where I had to look in the mirror, bruh. Like I had one of those like a life crisis type shit, like ego death, you want to call it, even though like we don't need to kill our ego, but just I was made to look at myself, bruh, and to look at the things that I was doing habitually, the things that I was creating habitually that were creating dysfunction in my life. And I had to really look at myself, bro, and to get honest with myself. So that's what I'm learning, bro. It's like self-honesty, being honest with myself first, because if I'm not being honest with myself, bro, I'm gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, if I'm lying to myself, I'm gonna manipulate you. I'm gonna deceive you because I'm not being all the way 100 with myself. So there's no way that I'm gonna really, truly be 100 and true with you, because there's dysfunction within myself. So I'm focusing on that, bro. Just dissolving my egos, bro. Cleaning up my internal, so I can show up authentically, show up truthfully for the people that are in my life. You know, giving them value, letting them know that they are valued, letting them know that I appreciate them and that they're loved, and not fucking things up, bro. Because like I said, bro, like the internal, it really reflects. So if I'm going through a lot within myself, but I'm like trying to hide it, like that shit's gonna come out, you know. So yeah, bro, self-honesty. Yeah,
Being true and honest to yourself.
Yeah, bro.
It's like you kind of going through a thing to where it's like you understanding the areas in your life that, okay, like, this is not working. This is causing the problems. Let me remove this. It's kind of like, what's the word I want to use? Is I can't think of the word I want to use. Shit. I can't. But it's you trying to be honest with yourself in areas in your life that, in things that you probably need to remove, things that you need to change, places where you need to be present. It's auditing. That's the word. It's like you auditing your life. in ways to where it can be better for yourself, right? Kind of in that way to where things could be more clearer and bring more clarity to you and to what you're doing in the journey that you're on right now.
Right. Yeah. Responsibility. I don't know if I said that word, but
You didn't.
Responsibility, bro. Being responsible for who I am, like being responsible for my soul, being responsible for my own healing, and not like running away from it, you know.
And that's so powerful right there. That quote right there is being responsible for your own healing. Can't nobody heal yourself but you. No other source, no other thing, no other stuff that happened. You are responsible for your own healing. You are your own savior.
Yeah, nobody's coming to save us. You know, nobody's coming to save me. Nobody's gonna do the work for me.
Exactly.
So yeah, just taking responsibility and just taking responsibility for my own life, because like I said, like everything, all my actions, everything that I decide to do, it is what creates my life. So I have to be more responsible for what it is that I'm creating. Damn sure can't be blaming no one, you know.
Can't. Hey,
I just blame myself.
that's a part.
I just gotta blame myself.
Bro, I felt that,
I gotta blame myself. Like, yeah, it really takes that. And I was watching this Kevin Gates interview. And that nigga Kevin Gates funny, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Gates, bro.
Shout out Kevin Gates.
He was like, I'm gonna do a little Kevin Gates.
Go.
I had to look at myself in the mirror. I had to tell myself I was a bitch. I was a bitch. I had to look at myself and tell myself, boy, you a bitch. You not standing 10 on what you believe. You a bitch. And that's real. I resonated with that, bro.
That's real.
I resonated with that, bro.
That's real. That's Kevin Gates, but that's real.
That's real, bro. Sometimes we gotta look at ourselves and just like be real. Like, oh, you being a bitch, bro.
Cause you want to know what crazy thing is? A lot of people problems come from themselves.
Yeah, we are our biggest enemies. We are our only enemies and our biggest enemies.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you literally are the creator of your life. Everything that you bring into your life, every experience, every dis-ease or whatever, you're playing a part in it. And whatever it is, if you want to change your life, if you want to get more fit, if you want to get more, the only thing that's stopping you is you. And that alone right there is a bar. Yeah. Take responsibility for your own shit. You got people in your life that's not treating you right, or you don't feel like that's aligned with you, you can remove. It's up to you.
And it's like whenever I'm not speaking, whenever I'm not taking responsibility for my own life, now I'm giving that shit to you. Now, like, the people I'm around, I'm projecting, and now they feeling all my shit, and now 100%. It's a burden to them.
Yep.
And no one wants to be around that.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, it's like take responsibility for your own life, for your own shit. You don't, cause then I'm giving it to other people to handle and to deal with, and it's not their responsibility. You know, it's up to me.
100% up to you.
Because we have to, we are lights, right? Like, we are lights. And I had this realization, like, of, okay, my name is Soglo. Do you know what Soglo means?
What does it mean?
It means to allow your soul to glow. Allow your light, your soul, the light of your soul, allow that shit to glow. Like, allow it to shine, allow it to glow through you and everything that you do. That's Soglo. That's my name. Yep. I was being a bitch. I wasn't living that. I was lying, bro. How am I being Soglo? How am I being glow? But I'm doing things that are diminishing my own light. I'm doing things that are keeping me in the dark. You know, so taking responsibility for we all have unique things, unique qualities, gifts. We all have that. So we have to take responsibility for the light that we have. So nourishing this light, healing this light, and allowing that shit, because we have to allow it to, because it's going, our lights, they're gonna do what they do, but we just have to allow it. If I'm doing things that are going against my own integrity and my truth, now I'm blocking it. I'm not allowing it to glow. I'm not
100%.
allowing my light to shine. So yeah, taking responsibility for yourself is taking responsibility for your soul. And it's and another thing is bigger, bro. Like, it's way bigger than myself. Whenever I'm doing these things, bro, like whenever I'm here, whenever I'm in the shadows, in the dark, I'm putting myself before the whole world. Like I'm living small. I'm being selfish, because the more that I'm here, the less that I'm gonna be able to be full and authentic and truthful and give my light to the world. So it's bigger than us. You know, we have to do the work for us, but we got people like that are dependent on us, bro. Like, you doing this thing, you feel me, living in your purpose right now, doing this podcast. You got people that want to see this. Like, let's say you bullshit and then you end up like, something like you're not doing this. Now you're blocking your blessings for the world. So thank you for what you're doing, bro.
No,
keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Definitely, I appreciate it, and likewise to you, brother, with your art.
Yeah,
it's inspiring people, and what you're saying is very true. We are meant to, our light is meant to affect other people in great ways, and what we doing is helping other people. And then people that's watching this podcast, if you think about it, like, your light is meant to affect other people around you. Be that light, be that person that's living in that truth, because once you living in your truth, your light gonna shine so bright, it's not gonna have no choice but to hit other people. Like, this man is smiling from ear to ear. This man is not getting affected by these things. Like, wow, I'm inspired. How do you do that? What makes you feel that way? We are all lights. We just gotta. We are just like, when you find a light, it's just like when you light a match in yourself. You be on fire. You can light everybody else match and set their flame on fire just by you being yourself. It's like that domino effect. And what you saying, man, is it hit home
for sure, bro. And I'm already knowing, bro.
I want to ask you, and then I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and then we can close it out. What do you feel like? I'm actually okay. Do you feel like you know you get a good stretching? Yeah. Do you feel like you know your life purpose, or are you still discovering your life purpose? And it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah. My life purpose, I think in regards of life purpose is something that's like forever evolving and changing and shifting. Like, as we evolve and change and shift, like, our purpose, our mission is going to change. But I feel like I have a good sense of it. You know, I think my purpose is to create for my soul and to inspire other souls around the world, you know, share my art. And when I say my art, I don't even mean just like my paintings, you know, like, everything is art, right? Like, I am art. So sharing myself to the world, like, truthfully, fully, and just bringing balance and bringing healing to others. Yeah, like, being that leader, being that healer, being that true speaker that ignites that light of other people. I feel like that's a big part of my purpose, my mission, man, to be here.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep impacting people with your art and your expression, living in your truth. And you're going to do whatever you saying, you're going to do it if you keep living in your truth, like, exactly like how you said. And sure. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you living and doing your thing and expressing your art and being the person that you are. That's why I wanted you on this platform with me, man, because we had to share this space, because to be 22 and tapped in, and it's special. It's special, truly special. Now, the last thing. Now, another of the things that I feel like is very admirable is That flute, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Come on.
I knew you was going. I felt it, bro. My intuition told me the flute.
We tapped in.
Yeah.
Man, it's that flute, man.
Shout out to the flute, bro. Shout out to the wind. Shout out to
Yo, like, what? Give me, it don't have to be long, but like, what was how did you start playing that flute? And also, would you mind playing something?
I'll play some.
You'll play something? Okay, cool. We gonna say that for the end.
I'll play some.
But what introduced you to the flute? What got you?
Okay, yeah. So I've been playing the Native American flute for a year and some change.
Wow.
Yeah, but my soul though, like my soul been there before.
Gotta be.
I believe. But yeah, I was introduced to it. You know, like my mentor, actually from the yoga studio. He wasn't there, but I saw him playing the flute. And you know how it's like that light, it's like that inspiration, that instant, like, oh shit, like that's cool as fuck. That shit sound amazing. That shit looks so dope. Like I want to know how to do that. So before this, I never knew nothing about no Native American flutes. Never like thought of myself playing the flute. But there's certain things that come to us. You know, like they come to us, bro. Even like this flute, bro. Shout out to my pops. He found this shit at a thrift. He got this shit for $5, bro.
That's crazy.
He got it for $5, bro. And I feel like, you know, this flute it came to me. You know what I mean? So certain things they come to us, and I saw him playing the flute, bro, and from there, I just gravitated towards it. Started playing his flutes. Like started doing research on how to play, and yeah, that just sparked my journey with the flutes, and now I have my own, you know, and I'm just continuing to play it, continuing to allow it to heal myself and, you know, heal others. So yeah, bro.
Hey, and it's beautiful, man. When I heard it with my own ears the first time, I was like, man, kind of took me to another place listening to it. It just feels very, I don't know, it's like very ancestral. And you know that what type of flute is it again?
Native American.
Native American, exactly. Exactly. And it's just like,
if you know, you know.
Come on. And it's like once you hear it, y'all will hear it. It's a different type of energy and frequency that, man, it's very, very like powerful. And man, we gotta hear it. We about to set this up. We gotta set this up for you can play, and you know you can express your talent, man. But we gonna close out first, and then we gonna play the flute. But do you have any place where people can find you? Social? Are you on socials?
Fuck social media.
Fuck social. You ain't on the social right now,
man. Yeah, my socials are Mr. Soglo.
Okay.
Mr.Soglo, and my art account and my tattoo pages are in the bio. My TikTok is Mr. Soglo as well, but fuck social media for the time being. I'm taking space away from it. You know,
taking a break.
Internal work.
I understand that.
Because my ego.
I understand that. And every time and there comes a time where we need a break to lock in with ourselves. Yeah. Because you can kind of get too tapped into it, and it becomes a cycle, and you can't get out of it, and it's just like it's just glued to your hands.
Man, yeah, it's just bro, life is better. Look,
without it.
Life is better from my like experience of my life. My life is better when Instagram is not on my phone. Wow. When it's deleted off of my phone, and I can go like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I never even open the app of Instagram. My life is better.
Yeah, you close out Instagram, you get to touch grass. It's a different life when you're not on social. It's just like, it's completely different. I feel like everybody needs to take a social break. Like, I feel like everybody needs to get away from just that dopamine hit of like reaction or all that information. So much information on social media. You can get.
But you know, social media it's a great thing though. I think it's just about learning how to how to use it and learning how to mind the ego.
Exactly.
Because, you know, my ego can get caught up in social media a lot and expressing myself and being perceived and validation and attention. But there is like this side of social media where it's like I'm promoting my business. Like what you doing, you're sharing your art, you know, there has to be a balance, bro.
It got to be a balance.
I had fell out of balance with social media, and I was just, I had to get the fuck away.
I understand because you need a break, but also if you have a business and you trying to sell things or you trying to get out there, you know, that's the way you have to use social media. Mm-hmm. It's a balance for sure.
Yeah, it's a discipline.
But I definitely hope y'all enjoyed this podcast with me and Mr. Soglo. It was an honor to share this platform with you, brother. We're going to have to do this again one day. For sure. We're all walking on this journey back to the eternal light. Make sure you love yourself. Make sure you take responsibility, like my guy said, for your own actions, for your peace, for your love. And make sure you be your authentic self. Yeah. And y'all have an amazing, amazing week. We out.
Peace.
You in your bag.
I said you getting in the head. Nah, I'm gonna finish it off.
Beautiful, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro. It's been an honor, bro.